What's up, bro? It's my George Bryan Brooks. You find me on Facebook at George Bryan Brooks. Also, scratch my YouTube channel so we can chop it up. Real quick, I just wanted to say, just want to give my perspective on why I think certain groups, particularly immigrants, Hispanic and even Caribbean and even African or abroad, why do they ally and collaborate with the white supremacists over black people? And for the most part, we have to understand in Africa, the way they see certain people, not all Africans are Samos, and they don't all think like this, but just giving a general perspective. White people are the Red Cross. White people bringing resources. White people are the ones who they see as a savior figure. So they look at them as a savior figure, especially in certain parts of Africa. How can they go against the white people? And even though they're the ones who caused their situation. So it creates this mindset where they don't see them the way that we do. They see them as savior figures. And this is just not even just in Africa. This is certain parts of you would think also as well in the Caribbean, and people could. And it's not a. Of course, not everybody has the same mindset, but this type of mentality does exist because we experience it when they come to America. They come to America and they think or they want to be just like the white supremacists, especially the Hispanic community. The Hispanic community believes in the same racism as white people because the conquistadors and the Spanish brainwashed a lot of these Latin American countries. So they come here and they have the same hatred towards people of color. But the black immigrants, what their situation is, with them being cowards and not being able to stand up for themselves, because they look at black people standing up for them. The fact that we fight back to them is not normal. They like, oh, why you guys always complaining about racism? Why you making everything about race? You see how they think? You see the mentality? It's easy for them to adapt and pick up the talking points from the white supremacists. And then they want us, they surprised when we don't have that same mentality. Because you got to look at, especially in the Caribbean, look at these countries like in Haiti and Jamaica and stuff like that. These countries are in turmoil. They're not really doing good. So it creates a coon mentality when they come to America, the way they see white people. And then they don't, and the thing is, what they don't understand is that the white people who they pander to, who they collaborate and ally with, they don't like you. You can probably coon all you want, tap dance, and think that because you can regurgitate their talking points, they don't like you. You're just a dumb black person that's willing to sell out your own people, basically. That's the way they look at you, as bootlicks. But they want that title so bad, they fight. There's black people, even you got black Americans who are Stambos too, who see white people as saviors too. You feel me? But it's more so to say with them because we fought them directly, entirely for centuries, and physically in every aspect in America you could think about. They didn't go through exactly the same thing. Colonization and what happened in America is pretty much different from what was happening over here in America and in these other countries. That's why the experience is different. That's why we look at white people different from how they do. It's easy for them to come over here and they tell us black people are the most racist. Like, you know how offensive that is? You know how disrespectful that is? For a black person, a black immigrant, you come in and tell me that black people are the most racist? That's very disrespectful. That's disrespectful. You disrespect our ancestors and shit like that who fought to bring your ass over here, who died and sacrificed to bring your ass over here, and you're gonna come here and regurgitate the talking points you get from white people because that's their talking point. It's a mental gymnastic. It's something that white people, this is what the black immigrants don't understand because this is their mentality. They have not been here long enough to understand the history here. This is what they don't understand. White people's version of racism is them being punished and canceled, facing consequences. That's their version of racism. That's what they claim. You got black people out here making it seem like white people are really the victims. And they're the ones who get this type of unfair treatment. And you got black people out here pandering and caping for that. Like, bro, stop, because you're going to get thrown away. You're trying to be a token black person. That's really what it is. They die to be tokens. Candace Owens and all these other guys, they want to be, well, she is a token, but now people are fighting to be tokens. But tokens get spent. And that's what they don't understand. You're fighting for a certain position and for some type of acceptance that's never going to happen. But that's their mentality. And they don't understand why we don't think that way. Because we've been fighting and standing up for ourselves. Like I said before, that's not normal for people to do. Because they didn't fight for nothing back there in their own country. They didn't fight for nothing there. A lot of these Caribbean countries and, even Africa, a lot of them got their independence just recently, 50 to 60 years ago. Zimbabwe just got their independence in the 1980s. See what I'm saying? The British had colonized, and the Dutch and the Spanish, the French had colonized certain parts of Africa. And a lot of these countries just now getting their independence. So a lot of them, they just don't have the warrior spirit that we do. They think by kissing white people's ass that they're going to get somewhere. That's what they believe. Because on a slave plantation, you have the slaves who were so fucked up in the head, so gone mentally, that they created situations where they would tell master who was trying to run away, who was trying to collaborate. Well, they were collaborators on the plantation, basically. And that same coon mindset still exists now. It's ingrained in Black Americans too. But with more so, the thing is, originally, at one point when Black people were born cold, you got checked for shit like that. You see what I'm saying? The Candace Owens wouldn't exist back 20, 40 years or 50 years ago. She wouldn't exist because you would have got dealt with. Anton Daniels, who else? Anton Daniels, something. The Cartier family. It's just so many samples. Stevie Wright. None of these black people without exist. They wouldn't even be able to go outside because black people were more on code. You didn't go against the grain, but because we don't have more so to say code, we're not punishing our own. The Candace Owens and shit like that. Even the Hyde twins, they will exist. We have not been able to punish our own. But back then, like I said, you got checked heavy. So we're not in that position right now to do so. So that's the reason why a lot of these guys will get a platform and sit there and just regurgitate anti-black talking points all day from racist white people who know who are racist. They know the Hyde twins and all these other guys. They know what they're doing. It's not even just them being grifters. They are aware of what they're doing. They understand that they can throw black people under the bus, talk shit about black people, and favor of racist white people to get a pat on the head. They want to be tokens. And the same thing reversed with the Hispanic community. Because the Hispanic community, same thing. They do the same thing. They're just Latinos that do it. You got the Latinos who, what's that dude name? I can't think of his name. I can't think of his name. The Latino community, they got their sambos too. They tap dancers too. And that's really basically the truth. Tap dancers exist in both societies. And even in our society as well. But our situation is a little more different because we still have more so to say a warrior spirit where we will fight back like we always been doing. And we will fight back to the end. And they look at that as wrong. And they don't want no part of that. They want to be accepted by white people. They don't want that's the ones that saying that there's no racism. Our problem is not racism. They don't like to offend white people. That's one thing they don't want to do. They don't want to piss white people off. Like they don't want white people to think that they think that they're racist. And that exists. And like I said, it exists among Black Americans too. That's really the truth. People might try to say you could talk about call them tethers and stuff like that, but the thing is, this mentality exists whether we like it or not, and that has been problematic because the immigrants, they come in to undermine black people while we're trying to be on point and fight against the racism that's here in America, but they come in to undermine us, and then they use their blackness like Candace Owens to throw us under the bus. Candace Owens should never have got forward to me in the first place. And same thing with this dude, Brandon Tatum. Same thing with Brandon Tatum. These guys would not have existed 20, 40 years ago. There's no way. They would have got their ass killed. They would have took them, black people would have took them out like, oh, hold up. Because we was more on cold. Or not even just so to say killed. It's just the ridicule. The ridicule you would get. The ridicule. The shame. And you wouldn't be able to walk around. You wouldn't be able to walk around. Like, you see what I'm saying? But, it is what it is. I don't like dwelling on that because we don't have the position where we can punish the Anton Daniels and stuff like that. They're going to do what they're going to do because nothing's going to happen to them. And the thing is, now you got the black immigrants coming here with this mindset where they think they could collaborate and ally with white people over us. That's the most dangerous part because, like I said, we got to deal with the racism and white supremacy, but then we got to deal with a whole other fact of people who look like, who cosplay as us, but they playing on the other team. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. It's almost like, during World War II, a lot of the Soviet soldiers were wearing Nazi uniforms to throw off the Germans. And that's kind of just like we're in a situation. We're in a war, and in the war, the enemy, our allies, so to say, is wearing the uniforms of the enemy. And this is what we have to deal with. Candace, I've been saying this for years. How did we let Candace Owens even get this far? She shouldn't. You see what I'm saying? And now it's just the thing where they all just fighting now because the white supremacists don't even need them to regurgitate their talking points anymore. Like Nate Fuentes said, they can say what the fuck they want to say now. They don't care about if they're going to be labeled racist or not. They just want to say how they feel, and that's going to just be what it is. But now they still got black people doing whatever they can to be mouthpieces, tokens for the race, especially for the white conservative crowd. But somebody was trying to say that is you've noticed is black immigrants. It's not so much say the black foreign people. It's them, but at the same time it's us too. Brandon Tatum is not an immigrant. Brandon Tatum is from Texas. You see what I'm saying? So we can't, hey, this is the truth. This is the truth. Of course, we call our own, but like I said, what's being dangerous now is people who come from a foreign background, who's black like us, but their mindset is not like us, and the way that they think, they are anti-black and they are white supremacists, but they have black skin. That's the most dangerous, and it's like, how do we counter this situation? How do we fix this? How do we come be more aware of this situation? Well, Nicki Minaj is Nicki Minaj. Well, a lot of us starting to catch on to it now because look what happened to Nicki Minaj. She lost 10 million subscribers. She went up there and said all of that. Like, Nicki Minaj, you are an immigrant for one, and Nicki, you never talked about politics. Never. Trump ran goddamn twice. You never said shit about Donald Trump. So I don't know what it is why she went on to the right, but it is what it is. She got canceled for that, rightfully so. But now white people, since we've been delineating, and what Nicki said really didn't hit like that because now we didn't separate ourselves from the black immigrants. We let it be known that, hey, hold up, Nicki Minaj is Trinidadian. She's not a black American, or FBA, as people say. She's not. So that's why what she said, it really didn't, so much take like that. It just, now we know that Nicki Minaj is a coon. You see what I'm saying? Basically. So that's basically what she got exposed for, being a Sambo who's going to regurgitate their talking points. They did that on purpose. They could have got anybody up there to say that. But why a black person? Why did they get Nicki Minaj out of everybody? You see what I'm saying? Because J.D. Vance up there saying that shit about white people, white people shouldn't have to feel bad about being white. That's fucking racist as fuck. That is the most racist shit I've ever fucking heard in my life. Fuck y'all talking about. They're using black people to create these talking points to make it seem like the racism is really white people. They're facing racism. They're being oppressed. They're the real victims. But they're using black people to exploit their talking points. So basic to understand. So that's what Nicki Minaj was there for. But it's like white people starting to, that didn't really hit because, hold up, Nicki Minaj is Trinidadian. So that's why it's good that we delineated, because now we let it be known that black immigrants don't speak for us. If you're an immigrant and you come from a foreign background, even if you are born here to foreign parents, your opinion is still invalid. So Nicki Minaj, you got up there and made yourself like a fool for what? You lost all your subscribers for what? For what? Like, you didn't pay attention? We let it be known that if you come from a different background, from a different black nation, you don't speak for black people? So that's why it's not even worth it. And we let the white folks know that's what it is. So it's good that she came out and exposed her being a coon. And this is the shit that black people got to deal with. We got to deal with coons, sambos. I mean, we got to deal with our fucking coons, our tap dancers, and then we got a whole other sector of people who don't belong here coming to get on their knees to suck white balls. It's annoying. Like the length that they going to be a fucking token is just ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Like I just. You know, code. We need a code. We need a code. We need a code of conduct to punish these people. Okay? So, and until we get on code, until we don't, if we don't have a code of conduct, then this conversation, us even talking about it, just means nothing. It means nothing because they're going to keep coming. They mean, you go on the internet, you got a bunch of people just talking bad about black people in order to get clicks and likes and views from the racist conservative right audience who don't like them, but they so desperate. Everybody's falling over each other to get their attention from the racist white conservatives who already said that they're not paying attention to you coons and bootlicks. They don't need y'all right now. But they so desperate that they don't even care. Everything is white. Oh, Andre Williams, a white dad, look at me and talking about black